Oh, hello. Thank you, Mariusz, for introduction and for invitation. Today we'll be talking about influencer marketing and how it can be combined with performance marketing. Just at the beginning, I would like to highlight that the marketing in reality games is built on two pillars: performance and influencer marketing. And as you can see on the slide, each of these pillars has its own advantages. So what we're trying to achieve is to combine them both to optimize our overall marketing performance. Before we dive in, a short intro about who we are and what we do. First of all, we've got Lukas here, who is our user acquisition lead. And we have me, I'm Robert, and I'm head of growth. And this is our portfolio. And we are kind of company which is specialized in building geolocation-based games. And there are two games on the market, 2015 and 2020. And there is also one project that we are working pretty heavily for some long time and will be soft launching in next month. And this is pretty exciting project because yes, this is real. It's using like Monopoly IP. So it's kind of challenging, but also like very exciting for us. And just quick slide about our technology we are using. So we are using real databases of real properties. We are using this kind of technologies like supporting AR devices and so on, and it will be also fitted in the new game. And the thing about our games is about buying properties. And from our experience, we found out that the moment of buying property is the crucial for marketing. So that's why our performance marketing is focused on the moment of buying property. That's why all our creatives are made using this moment that actor is buying like real world property. And this actually like applies also to influencer marketing. When we tell influencer to go to a specific place with his phone and just make the purchase. So this is about that. So we are in the marketing. So I think, Lukas, you can tell us a little bit about influencer marketing.
Thank you, Robert. Yes, of course. For those who don't know what influencer marketing is yet, let me explain very quickly. So what do we do? We buy the video from the YouTuber, then YouTuber shows it to the audience converts into the users, and simply we receive return of ad spend. In our experience, we have more than 500 influencer deals already done. And we have also developed our own growth engine, which helps us to search for the influencers and also predict if the influencer will be successful or not. So at this point of our funnel, we have already pre-selected influencers. We already know more or less if they are going to be good or not. Then we send hundreds, thousands, even emails. When we receive them, we can simply ask for the price. We can send them our brief. Then the next thing, we can negotiate the content. We can negotiate the contract. After this is done, we can sign that contract, set up the date. And when the video is published, then it's the most exciting part of the influence marketing, when we see that all the numbers are growing and the whole that time that we spend it can be weeks, even months of preparation is paying off.
Yes, and after we know some basics about influencer marketing, we've got small exercise for our audience. So let's imagine for the moment that you have like some budget for the influencer marketing, and you have basically two choices, like get 5 smaller influencers or go 1 famous influencer. So now please raise your hand if you are for option A. All right, and please raise your hand if you're for option B. All right, so it's kind of 50-50, but I think the first option, a little bit more people. So let's see what we have. So here, this is like example of our data. We've been running in a campaign in Hong Kong. And on the left, you have the A scenario, and on the right, you have B scenario. So as you can see, in the B scenario, there is like, you know, sometimes is better, but sometimes it's worse. So it's just like with influencers that it's pretty hard to predict what you get. That's why we always try to, you know, to use this approach to, you know, to make as many as we can, but lower, right? Lower size of influencer, higher amount, and that's why. We can consider influencers like investing into startup, right? So you never know if it will work, but if you like split the budget among different influencers, then you kind of minimize the risk. Yeah, but there's one downside to that. Actually, like it's a lot of work and coordination, but in the end of the day, it minimizes risks. And the good thing about smaller channels is that the audience of the smaller channels are more dedicated to influencer, and they have a higher views to subscribers rate, which is pretty crucial metrics when it comes to the influencer's performance. Yeah, and one more thing is that markets can differ very much for the influencer marketing. Some markets, for example, here we see Brazil, it has very, very poor ROI, and there can be different reasons to that, like, for example, different adoption of YouTube, different engagement of, let's say, community, and so on. That's why markets, choosing right markets is very important. So just to quickly sum up this part, influencer marketing is time-consuming, a lot of to be done there. You cannot really predict, but it's great thing to add on top of your UA. You can like horizontally scale. You can drive very engaged community, and also, in the end of the day, it's just fun work. Especially if you watch a lot of YouTube, then you probably enjoy it. So let's get into the meat of our presentation, how the influencer marketing works with performance.
Let me answer this question. We've chosen, as an example, the top market here. For Google Ads, we've chosen the US CPA campaign that we can compare to the influencer campaign also in US and other English-speaking countries, but most of the influencers were from the United States. You can see here that we have the cost per install, $2.3, and it appears that for the influencer campaign, we have about $1 less in terms of CPI, which can lead to the faster return of ad spend. And another thing that I would like to introduce to you is the retention comparison. In this case, we have the campaign in Poland. Here we have the data 2 weeks before the start of the influencer campaign. And here we have about 10 days after the campaign. You can see here that our retention is pretty good, yes, but it is even better right after the influencer campaign. Another aspect of influencer campaigns is that when you turn off the Google Ads campaign, you don't get any more installs. In this case, we can see that even after 90 days, we still get some users coming in. What is really interesting is that sometimes we get even users after 3 years. So you might ask, if the influencer marketing is so awesome, why we just don't do only influencer marketing and forget about just the traditional user acquisition. As Anne said earlier, if you cannot measure it, then forget it. Yes, influencer marketing is super difficult to measure. Of course, it's possible, but at the same time, it's difficult to scale because there are very few influencers actually that really can perform very well. What's more, with performance marketing, you can scale, you can measure it, you can control it, and you can pay directly for the specific action. Here I can mention also that with influencer, there are many different conditions like weather. A couple of years ago, we did campaign in Philippines. We prepared for about a month, and then suddenly there was a typhoon. Yeah, so it was unfortunately, was a fail. Another thing is the influencer, actually, the influence of the influencer campaign on the regular UA campaigns. You can see here that at the point of the start of influencer campaign in Czech Republic, we had a spike in installs. Same here in Poland in 2024. But there is a downside of it. We also notice a cannibalization. There is an increase in installs and costs. However, as mentioned earlier, the quality of those users is pretty good. So we received a pretty good return as well, as you can see in this example below. All right, so having all that information, let's ask Robert, how does it look like in 2024?
Yeah, because this is kind of constantly changing landscape, right? So it's important to to check like fresh results. And actually, like we concluded one influencer campaign around 2 weeks ago. We've been running that in Poland, so it was like like Lukas did it, but I knew even like some influencers from them. I spent too much time on YouTube. And we've been doing 10 influencers. We've got budget 15K USD, and we've put some target on ROAS D7 based on our previous experience from running campaigns in Poland. And actually, like it brought us like 13K installs with conversion almost 2%. But the target completion was 80%, so it was like kind of okay, but still not satisfying and not that good as the let's say campaigns that were running in last year, for example. So we started to brainstorming what are potential reasons for that. So we listed some of them, and it seems that influencers treat this kind of collaboration like just product placement, not like just promoting product, deeply engaged with deep understanding of the product. And also this leads problems with onboarding, so they don't explain well enough to the user how to, for example, claim some gifts and so on. Yeah, and then we can hear how we can improve it. And Lukas, tell us, what is the solution?
Yes, we would like to address that problems mentioned by Robert, and The answer here is the revenue share deal with the influencers. We plan to spend about $5 million to get the traffic worth 20 million. This can happen if we offer the influencers about 20% flat fee, and then rest they will receive in revenue share deal. This way we can predict about 150 million social views. Then this can result in 6 million downloads from the influencers, then another 1 million from the organic traffic. We can also predict about another 1 million from this domino effect when other influencers will catch the flow. Of course, you can say that we are crazy. But not really. Of course, we didn't forget about the traditional UA. Yes, it's going to be only a part of our strategy, and also we have other strategies like pre-registration, which with the big IP is super important. And of course, there are a lot of challenges, but there are also opportunities. You might think that revenue share deal is a little bit worse idea for the influencer, and also every influencer will have to have different contract. Every influencer will have to have different conditions. But we have monopoly. In my life, I spent about 10 years in Asia, 5 years in China. And if you ask anyone in China, who is Jesus? They will say, maybe 1 person out of 10 will say, yeah, I know the guy. But if anyone, what is Monopoly? And they will say, oh yeah, I played that game when I was a child. So this is super strong IP. Everyone knows Monopoly. Influencers also know it, and they will have opportunity to be the first to do it. We did revenue share deals before when we did Landlord Go and Landlord campaigns. And what we offer, what is the most important here, we offer the monetization of community. So here we have, as an example, Mr. Beast. Probably most of you know him. We already know how much is going to cost a video with Mr. Beast. Of course, this is a holy grail of influencer marketing, but we plan to get that holy grail. And what do we plan to do? Every influencer will get the branded version of our game. What's more, every player will receive some rewards from their idol, from the influencer. And the most important is what I mentioned, that monetization part. Every influencer will receive dedicated leaderboard. And here the sky is the limit. We can do all kind of competitions. Let's say that if you beat Mr. Beast, you can meet him for a coffee. Or if you beat Mr. Beast, you receive Xbox or PlayStation 5 or any other PlayStation that will be released soon. Also, as you probably know, there's going to be a Monopoly movie, not directed but produced by Margot Robbie, who is also a very famous actress. And everyone will know Monopoly. Monopoly will be everywhere. It will help us to convince the influencers to work with us, and also will convert more people to become our users. And also we have prepared our game for the big brands partnerships. This will create another buzz around. And pretty much that's it from us. We are going to create Monopoly, but not Monopoly Go. It's going to be a completely different game. And we hope it's going to be awesome. We believe it's going to be awesome.
Thanks.